It wouldn't be a lie that one of the most under-fire carriers in the world currently is the Australian flag carrier Qantas. The past 4 years have seemingly been a dumpster fire that, instead of getting put out, finds new ways to continue growing in the wrong direction. But is there light at the end of the tunnel for an airline that at the end of the day has carried Australians for over 100 years? Today I'll explore just what to expect from this Australian airline looking ahead, and whether it can enter a new era that'll promise far better fortunes. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Over 80% of viewers haven't done so, and as I try and push the channel to 40,000, it would mean a lot. To begin with, one of the most exciting points from a customer and aviation enthusiast perspective is the major shift in aircraft that Qantas will fly in the future. They're undergoing their most extensive fleet revamp in history, with every corner of the business being stripped, and in return, more fuel-efficient aircraft arriving on the scene. Qantas will say goodbye to their 737s, A330s, A380s, 717s, and more over the next decade or two. And in return, we'll see next-generation Airbus and Boeing planes arrive. Qantas is committed to taking one new aircraft every 3 weeks over the next 3 years. In the immediate future, this includes 29 Airbus A220s per their latest guidance, which will replace their 717s for the Qantas Link division. The Airbus A321XLR is slated to arrive from 2024 onwards, providing it can be certified on time. However, it is worth noting that the Qantas Group is already very cautious about delivery targets for this plane, given current market conditions, and by 2025, the first A350 for Project Sunrise should touch down on Australian shores. While these planes will reshape the Qantas operation in the immediate future, it doesn't stop there, with a most recent commitment for more Boeing 787s and A350s being secured. A deal includes 12 350s and 12 787s that are slated to arrive from 2026-2027 onwards, and well into the 2030s. These planes will help replace the Airbus A330s and also the Airbus A380s. It was a multi-billion-dollar commitment that, alongside orders announced in the past few years and purchase options, should leave the company with many more opportunities looking ahead. But is it really all smooth sailing in the future when taking a look at their fleet and other key decisions? Well, with a fantastic fleet of jets coming in, many are also pondering what that means for the route network. As the Australian flag carrier, many believe the airline's current network lacks, with crucial destinations missing. The hope is that through these new commitments and eventual expansion, the reach will only be increased. Notably, Qantas's presence within Europe has had many questioning just what will come. The likes of Paris and Frankfurt, potentially as far as Amsterdam, have all been long-standing discussion points, with the carrier going as far as, yes, trying to find ways to launch to Paris, but under the current restrictions from Perth Airport, and with their available fleet, they haven't been able to do so. North American destinations have become even more lucrative away from Europe, with Qantas recently launching Dallas services from Melbourne. Still, there are many more opportunities there too, as many would say, especially with Seattle, Chicago, and such. Thanks to new aircraft, and especially narrow bodies with their now extensive range, the idea that these can be deployed on services within Asia is truly fascinating, especially when moving away from Melbourne and Sydney and onto maybe some of the more focused cities on the Qantas network that could do with these additional connections. A worthwhile mention is also Africa and South America, which are two areas of the globe that the Australian flag carrier certainly lacks, and with new long-range aircraft set to join, potential new city pairings will become available so they can expand their presence in these two regions. Utilising the Airbus A350-1000 ULR for Project Sunrise is going to be hugely pivotal in the long-term future, with it being an initiative to see non-stop services from Sydney to London and New York. The airline will, in the future, with 12 units, be able to tap into new markets and cater to potential time-sensitive travellers. Another angle that many would take with them is that the opportunities for Project Sunrise and Qantas are tremendous in gaining an edge over competitors. Take the Sydney to New York segment. It's an offering that United, Delta, and American all provide, and technically Qantas too, but with a stopover point. And for the big three, it's on the west coast. But soon, Qantas will be able to offer this service without a single stop. We are seeing very similar even now with Air New Zealand's flights from Auckland to New York without a single stop. Can Project Sunrise give Qantas a competitive edge? What about their upper class? Qantas have said their Sunrise flights will come with a higher price tag than stopover services to the exact same location, but will people prefer paying that little bit extra to get to their destination sooner, and if they're flying in an upper class, enjoy the product more that is set to offer a fantastic experience over their existing wide bodies? It is certainly ambitious, but has many people excited, and with every passing month, we're inching closer to the eventual launch of the program. The resurgence of travel demand is also something that is positioning Qantas in a more favourable spot than maybe many would have anticipated. However, as we look forward, significant developments are on the horizon, including management changes, most notably the departure of Alan Joyce. While these changes are generally perceived as, being positive, there are reservations among some key stakeholders who believe that further strategic adjustments are imperative to navigate the future successfully. Under the new CEO, Qantas has established a real overarching objective, you could say, which is restoring trust and rekindling relationship with customers that may have been, or you would say probably have also been, strained in recent years. This goal takes on heightened significance as the travel industry experiences a major resurgence. Qantas stands at a really important point, and the question arises as to whether they can really capitalize on the opportunity that presents itself for them to truly turn around as a business. It is essential to underscore that this transformation will not transpire overnight. Instead, it's the undertaking of really incremental, but I'd say fundamental steps in the right direction to look for the long term. Looking beyond also the immediate future, related to, say, endeavours such as aircraft routes and management, Qantas possesses a genuine prospect of reasserting itself as the spirit of Australia. The airline boasts a storied history that many admire and a connection with its customer base, which, while lacking very much in recent times, has the chance of returning. If Qantas could successfully restore these relationships, you would put the case forward that it would enjoy very much high rewards. So looking ahead, there is a lot to look forward to, even despite the last few years which have seen controversy after controversy and issue after issue hitting the Australian carrier. People will still be discussing and debating if all of this is a feasible goal. I'd love to hear your take on, say, maybe cabin products, route development, future aircraft, or management. What to you will the next 10 years look like for the Australian flag carrier Qantas? And probably the biggest question from all of this is, do you believe the next 10 years will be brighter for the airline than the last 10? Thank you very much for watching, take care, and do be safe. I really do appreciate the support here on the channel, and if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do so. Thank you, and I'll see you next time for more coverage on our industry.